Hi everyone, welcome back to Alice on the Giant Bookshelf. Today's video is my final book haul of December, and hopefully it's the last one for a while. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. My name's Alice and I have way too many books. But of course it has been December, so I have added to the giant TBR. And I'd like to make the excuse that it was Christmas, but I do have a couple of books to show you that I bought both before and after Christmas. And some of my Christmas presents won't be adding onto the giant TBR because they are books I've already read and wanted to add to my collection. And some will be adding to the giant TBR. If you've watched my goals video, you will know that I am planning a book ban in January, minimum January, because it's going to be a read 30 books that you own before you buy any new books challenge, and therefore this is going to be the last book haul for a while, I hope. I'm going to be completely honest with you, and if I do slip up in that 30 book challenge, I am going to let you know. This channel is to hold myself accountable, so fingers crossed I can manage it. I've been on a lot of book buying bans before. Let's have a look at the lovely presents that I got for Christmas, the things I bought myself before and after, and yeah, this is my book haul for December. I did have a trip to London early in December where I purchased two books, and I have already shown one of them on the channel, and that was The Red House Mystery by A.A. Milne. I couldn't resist buying this in Hatchards when I saw it because this is a Hatchards special edition, and I had been hoping to get hold of and read this book because I haven't read A.A. Milne's mystery yet. So far I only know him as the author of Winnie the Pooh and Now We Are Six and things like that. I also wanted to read this before I read a book that I think is called The Rules of Perfect Murders or something like that. I'll put a picture up here if I remember, because apparently that does spoiler some other mystery books, and this is one of them, so I would like to get that read before I listen to that book. I couldn't resist this copy because it had a beautiful cover. It has a lovely green inside cover and beautiful end papers, and a special number because it is one of 2,000 copies of this particular edition. So very excited to buy this. I also decided to treat myself to a book in Waterstones in Piccadilly, and I bought Hummingbird Salamander by Jeff Vandermeer. Jeff Vandermeer's Southern Reach trilogy for me is one of the most sort of unnerving and disturbing series of books that I've ever read. It's so creepy and put me so on edge. So I already know he's a great writer. I can't wait to read this, which I think was his new release last year perhaps. I heard about this way back in January last year for the Booktube prize, and I wanted to read it ever since. So this sounds a little bit apocalyptic perhaps, and a little bit strange as mentioned on the back, and it also says this is climate fiction at its most urgent and gripping, New York Times. And there's also a really good blurb on the back here from Emily St. John Mandel, who I really loved Station 11 by her. It says harrowing, gripping and profound. It's both a thriller and a requiem for a disappearing world. So I can't wait to get stuck in to Hummingbird Salamander, and this also has a fabulous cover. There was also a slight error in my Christmas present buying. I bought this book for my mum and she then found it for £1 in a charity shop, and who could say no to this for £1 in a charity shop? So I decided to keep the copy that I'd bought for her. Bit naughty, but I really want to read this book, and it's The Marriage Portrait by Maggie O'Farrell, and Maggie O'Farrell is the writer of one of my top 10 books of the year, Hamnet. I think this one is set in Renaissance Italy, and I'm really looking forward to reading something a bit different. Hopefully I will get to this at some point soon in the new year. So those are the ones that were not gifts. Let's move on to books that were gifts but that I won't be adding to the giant TBR. So First of all, I got this lovely book from my husband. We chose this together on a recent trip to Battle, where they have a delightful bookshop called Rother Books. Really, really loved it in there, and my husband bought me this for Christmas, which is The Book Lover's Bucket List, A Tour of Great British Literature by Caroline Taggart. I won't be adding this to my giant TBR because it's a sort of dip in and out of book. When I have non-fiction books that I'm more likely to dip in and out of and not read cover to cover, I don't add them to the giant TBR. But this basically takes you through Great Britain and all of the different bookish places, from books related to authors, that kind of thing. So following on from having really enjoyed some books about bookshops, that helped me to find some great bookshops in some great towns last year. I really hope to go on some trips around this country to visit some of these fabulous bookish places. So I haven't read any of this yet, but I'm really, really looking forward to it. Again, it has an absolutely stunning cover with all different book characters on it. Can't wait for that one. And I also won't be adding to the giant TBR because, again, it's a book I'm going to dip in and out of. It's a puzzle book, Sherlock Holmes's Elementary Puzzles, Riddles, Enigmas and Challenges inspired by the world's greatest crime solver. And this is some sort of collected puzzles inspired by the Sherlock Holmes canon, and I've already tried a couple of the puzzles and done quite well so far with my investigating. So that's good. And this was a present from my best friend. I'm going to shout out Cheryl, Wayne and Imogen because they sent me this for Christmas, and it's, again, a really beautiful book. And I will be not adding it to the giant TBR, but I will be dipping in and out of the puzzles and enjoying sort of playing this as a game rather than a book. And I also want to show something that will be featuring in the background of my videos on the shelves, because my friends also sent me this, and it's the cat on it is very like Harry, and it says, "That's what I do. I read books, I drink tea, and I know things." So that's a fantastic sign to put up in the backgrounds of my videos. Really delighted with that as well, so thank you so much to my friends for those. Also from my husband, and also not going on the giant TBR because I've already read them, we have the final Sookie Stackhouse book, Dead Ever After. I read this one from the library back in November. I wanted my own copy of this because otherwise I will own every Sookie Stackhouse book except for one. My husband kindly bought me a copy for Christmas. And he also bought me Charlene Harris's After Dead book, and this is a book that revisits the lives of each of the named characters in the Sookie Stackhouse series, of which there are quite a few. And it sort of gives you sometimes only a tiny paragraph, but each character gets a page and it tells you where they ended up, which I think is a great idea, and I would love to see that done for other series where they've wondered about the characters afterwards. I hadn't read this, but I read it on Christmas Day, so I have read that one now. It's not adding to the giant TBR. And finally, not adding to the giant TBR was a present from the lovely Danny, who I met here on booktube, and Danny sent me Volume 1 and Volume 2 of Heartstopper. I wanted to own these because I read these from the library and I loved them so much that I went out and bought Volume 3 and Volume 4 and read those as well. And these are the sort of books that I will definitely reread several times, I would have thought, because they are just lovely. Thank you so much, Danny, for sending me these to add to my collection and complete my collection of Heartstopper books. Everything that remains in here is adding to the giant TBR. I have 6 books I got for Christmas that are going to add on to the giant TBR. All of the giant TBR numbers are going to be in my December wrap up, including what was added as well as what was read and taken off. You will get my final number for the year, but for now, here are the other 6 books that I got for Christmas. And these are all from lovely booktube friends who sent me these. The first one is from Emily over at Novell Novels. Emily kindly sent me Solitaire by Alice Oseman. I read in November or December This Winter by Alice Oseman, which is a novella, and it's about the same people. This is about Tori Spring, who is the sister of Charlie Spring in the Heartstopper books. But this book, I believe, came first and is like a YA fiction. No pictures in this one, but I'm looking forward to finding out more about Tori, Charlie's older sister. I'm really, really looking forward to this one. and I'm really delighted that Emily sent me this. And next up, a very generous gift from Charlie from Charlie Brooke Reads. Charlie has sent me the book that has probably been on my wish list for the longest, and that is The Birds and Other Stories by Daphne du Maurier. I have wanted to read the Birds short story for so long. You may have seen in previous videos I've talked about the film The Birds by Alfred Hitchcock, which I find terrifying, and I really want to read the short story again, and I definitely want to read the other short stories in here which I've never read before. And Charlie also very kindly sent me a book which I'm going to be reading for the FOMO book club. This is our final pick of our first 6, so I'll be reading this I think in September and October, and that's The 13th Tale by Diane Setterfield. So really looking forward to this one, and I do have a definite plan in place for when I'm going to be reading it. Those were from Charlie. Thank you so much, Charlie. This is another book I have a definite plan to read, because I'm going to be reading this with Fiction Addiction, run by Ange at Ange's Book Chatter and Amy at Booktube with Amy, and I was actually sent this by Ange from Ange's Book Chatter. Ange sent me The Anomaly by Hervé Letellier. Ange has been raving about this book since she first read it early in 2022, and I've been longing to pick it up because it sounds like a really good thriller. A thriller where a passenger plane duplicates during a storm, and it says on the front, what if there were 2 of you? So this is Fiction Addiction's pick for February, and I can't wait to read it with that group in February. So thank you, Ange, for sending me that one. This next book was a gift from Gemma from Gemma Books, and Gemma has sent me a book to continue my love of graphic memoirs. So I read 2 graphic memoirs in 2022, both of which I thought were really excellent. One was The Roles We Play by Saba Khan, which was also actually given to me by Gemma, and the other one was Persepolis by Marjan Satrapi, and I loved that as well. So to help me continue to read more graphic memoirs, Gemma has sent me another one, and she's sent me Pyongyang by Guy Delisle, A Journey in North Korea. I believe this is about a cartoonist who is sent to live in North Korea. It's his graphic novel about what he finds there. So I'm really interested to read this, as I know absolutely nothing about the topic. So thanks so much, Gem. This one's going to be really educational, as well as it has really great pictures. So I really like the style of these cartoons. So thank you, Gemma, for sending me Pyongyang. I really look forward to that one. And the final book of this book haul is a gift from Jack over at Spread Book Joy. And for a very long time, I've wanted to start reading this series. I've never known where to start. I've been told there's so many different starting points. You can start wherever. But that always confuses me and makes me not know where to start, because I like to start series at the beginning. But this is a series where I've been told don't start at the beginning. So Jack has finally told me and encouraged me where I should start, and this series is of course Jack's favourite series, the Discworld series by Terry Pratchett. And I'm finally going to start this series in 2023. I absolutely cannot wait. And Jack has sent me her favourite Discworld novel, and this is definitely a book that a lot of people have told me to start Discworld with, and that is Mort, which I believe is about the character Mort, who is death. So I absolutely love the style of these Discworld covers. Jack has said this is her favourite cover as well, and I would have to agree. It's very stunning. I hope it's coming out on the picture there. Can't wait to start the Discworld series, and to start with Mort, Jack's very favourite. And as Jack is the Discworld expert, I am really grateful that she has sent me one of the books so that I can make her start. And with that, that is the end of all the books that I bought or was given in December. Thank you so much to everybody in my life who recognises that I am a massive bookworm and need books for Christmas. I do have 2 final presents to talk about actually, both of which I'm really excited about. And one is a book subscription. This is the first book subscription I've ever had, and it's a gift from my mum, so thank you so much, Mum. My mum has bought me a reading subscription from Mr. B's Emporium in Bath. Yeah, I'm really excited about it because it is a crime subscription. So hopefully I'll be able to put up a picture of the voucher here. But it says on it, "Congratulations, you've been successfully inducted into this Mr. B's reading club, the Crime Syndicate. We'll scout the country, interrogate publishers and inspect our bookshelves to select our most anticipated piece of crime writing each month. It could be anything from a golden age mystery to hard-boiled noir, but each book delivered to your door will have the Mr. B's seal of approval." Yeah, so really excited for this. Thank you so much, Mum, because this is going to go on for the whole year. So even when I'm on my 30 book reading challenge, I will still be receiving a book from this. And yeah, as it is a gift, it will be fine. I can still read it for the challenge. Yeah, I'm super excited about those because I don't know which crime and thrillers will arrive, and I'm hoping they will be some really good ones. Let me know in the comments down below if you would like to see some unboxing videos around that subscription. And the final present that I wanted to mention is actually featuring in this video. It is my brand new book trolley. So I've wanted a book trolley ever since I started on booktube, and we haven't really had room in our house. And now that I finally have my sort of book room office nearly under control, it still does need quite a bit of tidying up, and it still does need a desk. But even though I still haven't got a desk in here yet, I still wanted to add a book trolley. So I'm going to use this to keep my TBR for the month on it. At the moment, I'm going to use it to keep these books on as well until I find them a space on the bookshelf. And yeah, I don't know what else I'm going to incorporate into the book trolley, but it's definitely going to help me store some of my excess books. So thank you so much to my husband for buying this for me. I put this together on Christmas Day, and I'm going to insert some footage here of the book trolley in all its glory because you can't really see it to its full effect down there. That was my bookish Christmas and my book haul from December. No more book hauls for a little while, but that's okay. If you have enjoyed this video, please do give it a like. Please do consider subscribing if you haven't already. And I would love to hear from you in the comments. Did you get any books for Christmas, or did you buy any in the Boxing Day sales? Let me know what was your favourite book you received, or are there any of these books that you think I should prioritise? As always, I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching, and I do hope to see you all again soon for another video all about books here on Alice and the Giant Bookshelf. Bye for now.